to approve the minutes.
I'll second it.
I have a motion to approve and a second to approve the minutes of October 13th. Let's see, should I do this on a roll call vote? I don't always see them do that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions?
I abstain.
Okay. One abstention noted. The minutes are approved. Let's move on to item 4, the treasurer's report. Again, I'll give everyone a few moments to look at it, then I'll entertain a motion. Do we have any verbal report or interpretation?
Yeah, I was going to, after we had a moment, maybe ask before the vote. As you can note that as of January 31st, 2016, we now have at the bank $19,799.77. The other thing I would like you to take note of is on the very last page after the breakdown of the various property and aging summary, is that our fees have gone up with a summary from $250 to $275 per month. And that is because of the additional breakdowns that we've had of the various assessments from a single item to multiple items, say like for somebody like Clarence who has multiple properties, we've had to extend that, as well as more detailing out of the various assessments, letters that we need to send out and such for delinquencies and things like that. So I think it's money well spent to have this, because they're taking a lot of extra paperwork and time to work with what we need each month. So that's the reason it's a $25 increase. Any questions?
So it's not a one-time, it's
No,
monthly.
it's going to be monthly. Yeah.
Any other comments or questions?
I have a question.
Question from the attendees?
I'm sorry, what?
I said, go ahead, please.
Are we still being charged for manager's salary of $26,000?
Treasurer.
No.
So where's our rebate?
Okay.
That's a little too accusatory, and that's not.
Yeah, that's a loaded question, and we're not
Okay.
going to entertain loaded questions.
Okay, let me make it as
onto
a
the-
statement instead, please. The assessments include a large portion that is supposed to be for management as prescribed by your bylaws for the structure of the board. There's supposed to be a paid manager.
I would argue
The
that
manager quit 2 years ago,
Chairman,
and we
Yeah,
have,
this is, you know what?
we're going through.
That's right. That is a
You should
policy.
have never allowed her
Okay,
to ask a question.
hold on. It's a policy, that's a policy issue. It has nothing to do with approving the treasurer's report. That's enough. Do I have a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second? Okay, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? The treasurer's report is approved. Okay, item 6, old business. Okay, election of officers for 2016.
I should note,
Report from the secretary?
yes, I should give a report before we do that, which is that the nomination ballots were sent out back in October, and I think we're all aware that although there were several people nominated, the only people who accepted their nominations for residential and commercial seats were myself and Brock Alexander. So there were more than that, those seats open, so we simply accepted and we'll stay. So our terms will be extended for another 3 years. So election, yes? Did you want to ask me something?
Well, I don't know if it's worth it to go, to repeat that again so that I more fully understand.
Okay.
Those seats, so let's.
Point of
I
order,
wanna-
this person is disrupting this meeting.
Yeah,
I don't need to have her moving signs around, so you ask her
Yeah.
to put her signs down and just, not disrupt this meeting.
yeah,
Can I make a suggestion?
yeah,
I think that what happens in most meetings is if the person wants to hold a sign, they need to have a seat and they can hold a sign.
Yes.
But it is not, move your chair back to the audience area. You
I'm
either
the
have a
only one
choice-
in the audience, Mr. Motlow.
might be good.
Well, but this, we're trying to have a structure of the
Yeah.
meeting.
Let me, I still am the chair, and,
Go
I'd
ahead.
say right now, let's, ignore the distractions at the back of the room, in the audience.
We'll
Let's get through
prioritize.
this. Yeah, okay.
So you wanted a clarification?
Yeah, I just
Okay.
I wanna hear, exactly what positions those
All right,
are.
so.
I want it to be on the record, that's what I'm doing.
Great. Nomination ballots went out in October
October nomination ballots went out in October
for the residential property owner seats that
Yes.
were becoming vacant or were already vacant.
Okay.
And a commercial property seat that was becoming vacant.
Okay,
Currently seated are in the residential seats are Russell Owens. His term does not expire until 2016, the end of this year.
okay,
My seat was up in 2015. And then we've had a standing vacant residential seat that the term expires in 2017. So
okay,
no one's volunteered for that for a couple of years.
okay,
And then under commercial property owners,
yes,
Justin Marr's term does not expire until the end of this year. We have had, again, a vacancy in commercial property owner since, well, it won't expire till 2017. And then Brock's term was expiring at the end of last year, 2015, as mine was.
okay,
We received nomination ballot returns, and there were several, I pulled them out so I could reference them. There were several nominations, about 6 or 7 in total. I could have counted them exactly, but not in my folder. And the only people who accepted nominations, so everyone was contacted.
okay,
And the only people who accepted their nominations by their fellow property owners were myself and Brock Alexander.
okay, very good.
Actually, I'd like to add one little thing, because if I understand it right, Debbie, also that in order, so it's open to all the property owners, right? And whether they business or commercial, right? This nominating process as well as being able to be accepted under a nomination, right? But there's a caveat to that, if I understand it right. You have to be up under assessments. If you're
Yes, I believe if you're more than 60 days delinquent, you do not qualify as a candidate.
So you can neither nominate or you can neither accept.
Well, you certainly can't accept.
So
I understand that.
So it's one of the, again, it's one of the, in a sense, it's a problem that we have because we're dealing with a very limited base of people to be able to even accept a nomination because we have a limited pool of people who are property owners, whether they be commercial or to be residential. And if we have, say, a section of those people, of those property owners who do not pay their assessment, we even have a limited, a less, a more limited pool of people potentially voting. And if it's not under a mandatory service that we do, this is all voluntary. So if somebody has stuff going on in their lives, then our pool gets even tighter. So we don't have very many people to draw from. And so this is really the people who have the most interest and who really care about the town, who can donate their time to be here. That's one of the real questions that is never really seen to, or the statements to some of these questions of why there are so few being accepted nominations. It's part of the result of all these factors. So I just wanted to make sure
That is
you
so
understood that.
that is so outstanding. That's exactly between the both of you what I wanted to hear here. I wanted that to be on the record. Interpretation, I think, explanation is right on it. I really think it's important that be put into the record. So, okay, I think we're done with that. Let's move
Yeah,
on to
so
the
I would like to
election.
say,
Oh, go
I
ahead.
take my nomination seriously, so if,
Mhm.
property owners want me to continue, then I will remain in spite of some of the reasons you don't want to stay.
Yeah, and isn't it, we didn't have anyone to run against, because nobody, to capitalize on James' point, nobody accepted.
Right.
But then again, isn't it, the board still has the right to accept our nomination, right? Or they could, I mean, we
Right.
declined.
Accept or decline.
It's never really
Well,
occurred, I'm just
I'm
Sure.
not sure.
I don't know how to answer that question.
We could ratify their.
Yeah.
I think I
Okay.
got it.
Getting into something.
Yeah, I'm not sure there, I don't have that all memorized. Okay, I'm gonna need some help.
Public
getting through
comment?
There's no public comment at this moment.
Yes, there is. Otherwise, it's a Brown Act violation.
You're disrupting the
You're
meeting.
disrupting, please don't interrupt. You could speak during public comment on issues like.
I'm supposed to be able to speak to each agenda item as a member of the public.
Chairman, explain our policy for
Um,
allowing the public to speak. We give them 3
This is-
minutes at a specific time.
This
Not
is
there.
we haven't even taken up an item yet. Well, this is a prelude to item 6A. And when we take up item 6A formally, we'll accept public comment, okay?
Item 6A is
Let's,
the self-re-election of the board.
Officers, and when they're on the table, then we'll take public.
No, this
comment.
isn't officers. This is not the officers. This is the election of the board members, property owner seats.
Oh,
She separated it.
Oh, yeah, we're on item 6A.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
Yeah, 6A, exactly.
Okay, and I don't remember the exact procedures for this, so I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
how
Well, election of officers? Well,
Open it up to nomination.
we open up the floor for nominations. It's certainly easy if, well,
Should we start
just start
doing
with.
individually?
Individually, just start with the chairman since,
Okay,
from the top down, I suppose.
This is so illegal. They're rewriting the
And
bylaws.
in the past, we've done the whole slate, we make a motion, then we take public comments, then we vote on
okay, let's do that then.
it. Okay.
So let's begin with the chair, and do we have nominations for chair? Or volunteers would like to run?
Are you stepping down as the chair?
Oh, yes, do I need to for?
Well, that's
Yes, I
good
do,
to nominate.
I do,
Maybe
yeah,
someone
no,
wants
I'm
to
not gonna,
nominate.
I'm not gonna accept the nomination for chair. I think I've been chair for 2 years plus, and I think it's time to take a break. So yes, I'm not going to accept a nomination at this time.
Well, I'd like to nominate Russell Holmes as the chairman.
Does there need to be a second?
Second.
Okay, we have a second.
Is anyone else
Yeah,
interested?
anyone else interested?
Doing it? Irene? You're
interested?
No, I'm not.
Oh,
You're waving it as a way.
She's waving it away.
I thought she put her hand up.
Rob, Dustin, nobody else?
I would decline. What are the other offices?
Well, let's move on to the, there's a vice chair.
Vice chair.
Vice Chair, I nominate Rob.
I second that.
Continue as Vice
Yes.
Chair.
All right.
Pretty red a little bit.
All right.
You'll accept.
Do I accept?
Okay. Anyone else interested in running or nominating another person? Okay, so far on our slate, we have Russell, we have Brock, and then going down the line,
I'd love it if James would remain as treasurer.
Will you nominate him?
I will
as
nominate
treasurer?
him.
I'll second that.
I'll accept.
You getting all these?
I am,
Okay.
except there were too many seconds. Who was the second? Wu? Okay.
And then going down from the treasurer?
She just said treasurer.
No, I'm down from the treasurer, I said, going down.
Secretary.
Secretary.
I nominate
Deborah, I second. Deborah, okay, we have, I
Eileen
second.
second.
Okay. No one else is
Who
in.
nominated me?
James
I
did,
did.
Eileen second.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to move that we
Close the nominations.
close the nominations.
So the nominations are closed. And I'll entertain public comment.
Thank you, sir. This, you
Should I
are,
set
you are at this time, okay,
You're
go
gonna take
ahead.
3 minutes. Okay.
Thank you. You have just, have the, we didn't receive any ballots out there in the town, the homeowners. According to Section 3 of your Article 4 on your bylaws, each property owner within the town of Locke shall be mailed a ballot with instructions. The voting by owners shall be one parcel, one vote ballot, one vote basis. This is not the nomination. You guys are supposed to have a nomination committee as told in your bylaws. You don't even know your bylaws. You don't know your CCNRs, you don't know your bylaws. So you've been self-re-electing yourselves illegally without sending us ballots for 7 years. You can't keep this a private club. You can't keep this public agency a private club. Do you see how many members of the audience there are in the public, in your audience? I'm the only one. It's because you've scared everyone else away. You've intimidated everyone in the town. You threaten people. You call the county on people every month, Ms. Mendel. Thank you for the last 4 months. Every month, something I'm doing wrong. That is not management of the town. That's harassment. That's harassment through the county offices. This is ridiculous. You need to have, oh, smile real big, okay? And I hope they show that to
Please keep
Mr.
it
Natoli.
civil. Please keep it civil.
You spent over $150,000 probably, I'm guessing, because I'm not sure what Mr. Motlow's, who's, by the way, the tenant of 2 of the domestic partner relationships. This is a total conflict of interest here. You guys are in business, 4 or 5 of you are in business together at the Moon Cafe. That's total conflict of interest. That's against laws of public agencies. You're self-elected. 2 of the board members here own the public monopoly water agency. It's, you know, read your bylaws. Section 3, you're supposed to have a nominating committee, and then in December, you're supposed to send out ballots to each of the parcel owners. We get 1 vote. You haven't done that since December of 2009, when Lisa Kirk and David Garcia counted your ballots, when Shirley Roberts was the town manager.
You have about 10 seconds.
Dissolve the corrupt lock boards. That's my comment.
I would just like to make one statement, and that's that it's a real fallacy of logic to believe that something is true just because someone says it. And I just really want to say that. Okay.
One second, though.
Go ahead.
I just want to make, nominating ballots were sent out, weren't they? We received-
Nomination, but not electoral
You had your
ballots.
time.
Interrupted.
Please
You
be
did 2
quiet.
minutes.
You are allowed your full time.
I'm
Please.
asking Debbie who set this out. I heard nominating ballots.
Nomination ballots were sent out,
Great.
and
Thank
they
you.
were sent out to everyone, you know,
All the property
in good
owners.
standing with them.
Just read your bylaws.
Please don't interrupt again, or you can leave the room. Please, leave. You can't be quiet. If you can't control yourself as an adult, please leave. Okay, we have a slate of officers. We have Russell Ohms nominated for chair. We have Brock Alexander nominated for vice chair. James Motlow for treasurer, and Deborah Mendel for secretary. Am I missing anyone? Okay, I think we should take a roll call vote to vote yes or no on that slate. Okay?
Sure. Deborah Mendel, I'll say yes, aye.
Darrell, will vote the slate.
Eileen Leo, I vote this way.
Jay Correa, I vote the slate.
Brock Alexander, I vote the slate.
Dustin Moore, I vote the slate.
James Motlow, I vote the slate.
Russell Ohms, I vote the slate.
Good. Excellent. Good job. Should we change seats now?
Are you in that much of a hurry?
Well, no, I mean, it's up to you.
Sure, I can. Want me to?
Up to you.
Up to you.
You prefer?
Typically, the routine.
Yep, that's our
Hey, just with you, I'll
Russell.
take my name with me.
Yes, sir.
Pass it on, pass it on. All right.
Thank you, Jay.
Yes, thank you very much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Chair for
Pleasure.
all these years.
Quite an experience of things.
Recharge your batteries.
I know, and I hope you stay on as historic preservation representative, because your experience in that arena is invaluable to this town. So there's my
Might miss a
little
few more meetings.
hook
but-
in to
It's
stay.
always nice to have the bullseye removed.
Yeah.
And to sit on the sidelines and watch.
Okay.
All right, I just wanted to say that I just wanted to repeat that what this board does, and what it does, it runs the town. It's a nuts and bolts committee that runs the town with, I think, 78 people in it. And I think 5% of the people are on the board running it, a very small group. And we also sort of, hopefully, if there's businesses, help the businesses, and we keep the Chinese character. We try to keep the Chinese culture alive in the town. We're not responsible for building codes. We don't do that. So it's just, we pay the lights, we pay insurance, keep the roads clean, we mow the back, we try to get rid of fire hazards, we clean up the trees. And we're a legal body. We've been created by Sacramento County. We follow the Brown Act.
No, you don't.
We fill out Form 700s, all of us, every year.
Oh, right.
We are legally entitled to run this town and legally mandated to run this town. And if anyone has issue with it, please follow through and make sure we do the right work. And you bring whatever you need to make us do it, because I want this town run legally and right. So, I also believe the chair manages the meeting, runs the meeting, and that's their job. It's not to be a dictator, but to just run the meeting and get everyone's opinions, and get my board's opinions, and hopefully get the board members that are quiet to talk, and to entice Justin to weigh in and say something once in a while. So that's what I believe the chair does. So here we go. We're going to go on to the first item on the agenda is 6B is review. It's a review action item. It's collection, lien enforcement, and foreclosure regarding delinquent assessments accounts of, let's see, 3 people, I believe, Robert Adams, Anthony Lee, and Ronnie Maiden, and other delinquent accounts. So who is this the treasurer?
This is me, Russell Lewis,
Okay.
I'm the treasurer.
Would you like to tell us what's going on? and
Sure,
what's
sure.
occurring?
Well, a little bit of the backstory. When I became treasurer, I immediately looked at various monthly incomes from our assessments and saw that we had some very large outstanding delinquent assessments. And then reading the CC&Rs, we do have a process in order to deal with them. So I began at that point to implement that process. The process is now with the Robert Adams as well as the Ronnie Maiden, to the point that we now are taking legal action in the form of a lien. The other aspect of that is that we are going to be following that with small claims. The idea is that, of course, we would like resolution before this because we would have more money to work with to be able to pay bills and such, as well as to have this not ongoing kind of agitation. So that we've done everything to work with both the estate of Robert Adams and the Roddy Maiden. But the problem for them comes that in small claims, we were going to bill them for the attorney's costs that we've had to incur in order to prepare the various documents. This is not an easy process. This is a legal process to be able to put forth a lien as well as to move forward with the small claims. But I think in the end it's going to be highly beneficial. Tony Lee is in that process now of where we are offering him a meet and confer. We're waiting to hear back. There's a certain timetable to that. We're waiting to hear back so we can agree upon a date to where we actually have a meet and confer. A meet and confer is simply saying, okay, your assessments are this. If you can show us why they shouldn't be that, meaning that you've paid something that we haven't recorded or you disagree with the amount because you have paid this, we ask the person to give us proof. Say in the course with Ron Maiden, that she believed that because, first of all, there was dispute about how much money that she actually owed beginning at a certain date. We were able to define the agreement that she had written up with Shirley Roberts that she had signed, stating that she owed that amount, that she said that she didn't owe. So we were able to say, well, wait a minute, this isn't the amount, this was the amount that you started with. The other thing that she was saying was that she believed that because she did work around her property, that she could deduct that work based upon some formula that she had from her payments to the assessments. That doesn't make any logical sense at any level because the bottom legal line is that you are responsible for your assessments.
Okay.
And so we moved forward with that. And Ms. Maiden's delinquency is, almost $5,000 at this point. It's $4,638.
And that's $60 a month.
Yeah, and so that's added up over all these years. Tony Lee, we're at the point, as I said, to the meet and confer area. So we're moving along with that. And the one that the other delinquent account is with John Green, who has refused. He's paid actually at one point down. He's delinquent again now.
I see.
And he's delinquent, I believe, almost $700, if not more. So he's reaching a threshold of the threat of $1,000 or so. So we've had our lawyer send him a letter stating that these consequences are coming. You need to take this seriously. Okay? The whole idea, of course, is if we can get all the assessments to being paid and we can, work through all the legal fees that we have had, at some point, by having people pay their assessments, we will have a positive cash flow. We will be able to, at some point, be able to reduce the amount of the assessments every single month. But it's critical that we come back to a stable